you go. Okay. I did none.
Oh yeah. 45. Texas gravy. Texas star. I love this gun.
Is that a 40?
45.
Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and today I'm coming to you with yet another range report. Today's range report is on the CZ75D Compact. I'm borrowing this from my subscriber Matt, who has been so kind in letting me borrow so many of his guns for these range reports and range reviews. I'm humbled that he trusts me with them. This is probably the third or fourth CZ pistol I've had the chance to try out, and everyone's told me once you start shooting CZs, you'll like them more and eventually have to get one. And I gotta say, I'm starting to like them more and more. So that statement is true. And I think this one is my favorite so far out of all the ones that I've shot. This particular gun, and this model, is a design that was made for the Czech National Police. I think they call it the PCR or the PRC. It stands for their contract, or the police of the Czech Republic. And it has a couple of things that it shares with the P01, which is like the compact version of the CZ75, but it has a few things missing, such as the accessory rail, and it also has anti-snag sights on it. I guess designed more for the concealed carry market, or maybe the way that they carry in the Czech Republic. Supposedly these come into the United States in small batches, so it's not a very common model. Not that they're super rare, but they're just not the most common one out there, so you really gonna kind of have to search for them. My general complaint about this gun is going to be the same as all of the other CZs, such as the narrow caulking serrations, which is an artifact of the inverted slide, and the fact that it's very difficult to disassemble without a tool or using the base plate of the magazine to push on that slide stop to get it out. Just not a huge fan of that. But these problems show that these guns are consistent throughout their entire line, which in a way I kind of like, because one of the reasons I like Glock so much is that regardless of what model I'm shooting, they all shoot the same. CZs are the same way. They all feel the same, they're very consistent, they are extremely high quality. I like the way that they look. So all these problems, I guess, show a consistency, so it's not like some models are irregular. I know that seems weird, but consistency is a huge pro in my book. So if you like CZs, you can probably pretty much shoot their entire line and be very successful at it. So this particular gun, it features 9mm compact. It has a decocker only, and when you do decock the gun, it goes to a half-cock notch right here, which I kind of like because I guess this is the way it's designed to be carried. So when you do use the double action pull on the first shot from the decock position, you're not actually pulling the hammer back the complete way. So the trigger pull in double action is actually pretty good. Now, if you tried to pull that action from the hammer being completely down, that is a really long and heavy first pull. But decocked, it's pretty nice. So I can see why that would be a desirable feature, especially for the police in the Czech Republic. The single action pull on this is really good for a duty gun. I like it. There's not a lot of grit. The reset is pretty consistent, maybe a little bit further out than where I would like it, but I can manage because it's the same place every time. And if I had to be real particular about the trigger pull, I feel like when you get the trigger and kind of pull it back to the wall, the breaking point isn't as stiff as I would like it to be. You know, you kind of want to pull it back and it should feel like a glass rod breaking. I kind of feel like it might be just a little bit too mushy for me, but with practice and regular shooting, that is definitely something that I could get over. When it comes to accuracy, this thing shot fantastic. In fact, I think I shoot it better than my Glocks, which is saying a lot because I shoot my Glocks pretty darn consistently and pretty darn well. So let's talk about a couple of issues though that I discovered with this thing at the range. I use two types of ammunition. I use standard ball ammunition, which was provided by Matt, and I also use SIG Elite, which is a jacketed hollow point. I had erratic ejections throughout. It didn't matter what ammunition I used. It did eject strongly. Sometimes it would eject forward, to the side, and sometimes even back towards my face, and a couple times to the left. I'm not sure what's really causing that. That could be an extractor issue. Not really sure. It was just super inconsistent. And I have to say, the shells would fall on my head or in my face a little bit too much for my liking. So I don't know if the gun just needs to be broken in more, shot more, or use different ammo, or something can be adjusted. Not 100% sure on that. Didn't care for that. Now, we did have two malfunctions, and they were both on the SIG Elite hollow points. Now, the ball ammo ran great, which is what I would expect. My guess is that because this is a European gun designed for a European market, and the hollow points are pretty much banned in Europe. Not completely, but they're banned in a lot of places. Just like some of the GHM guns, they're really only designed to be run with ball ammunition. I had a couple hiccups. The first one, I'm gonna roll in some footage here, my wife was shooting and she had a failure to feed. So I'm gonna show that footage right now. All right, so that was a relatively easy malfunction to fix. My wife just dropped the magazine, racked the slide. The round actually came out through the magazine well, reinserted the magazine, and we were back in business. I'm pretty sure, as I mentioned before, it's just because we were using the SIG Elite ammo with the hollow point or the jacketed hollow point. The gun doesn't like hollow points. The next magazine, we had another failure, and this could be ammunition related as well. A round fully seated into the chamber, she dropped the hammer, or she pulled the trigger, hammer dropped. It was what I thought initially was a light primer strike. I'm gonna roll this footage right now. Okay, so in order to clear this malfunction, it was a little bit different. When she tried to do the same procedure as last time, she couldn't pull the slide back. And she just put the gun down on the shooting table and asked me to take a look at it. And I couldn't pull the slide back either. Somehow, the round was in there so tight, I could not get it to extract. I couldn't even pull the slide back. It took me a little bit. About 2 minutes of kind of finagling around with it. I was able to finally get the slide to come back. The round ejected. It did have a very solid primer strike on it. So why the round didn't go off, I don't know. Just maybe you said just a bad primer. But why it would not eject and come out of the chamber, I'm not 100% sure either. It was a very weird malfunction. Which if it wasn't a life or death situation, I would not have been able to clear. That could have been ammunition related. Granted, I don't know what it is about this gun that just doesn't like that SIG Elite ammo. So, what are my overall thoughts on this gun? I like it. I really do. In fact, I really thought if I was going to get a CZ firearm, I was going to go a full size. But this has me thinking I might go a compact. If it wasn't for the failures, this would be getting like a 4.5 stars out of 5. However, with the failures, 3.5 stars out of 5. I can't trust it right now. It is a gun that I would have to train a little bit more with and shoot a little bit more to figure out what ammunition it likes. which I think is kind of a downside to any gun. If a gun doesn't run well with a broad spectrum of ammunition, it's not, I don't consider it a reliable firearm. Even if you find ammunition that works really well in it, well, if that's even the slightest out of spec, you could have issues. I really like that trigger, as I mentioned before. I really like the decocker at the half cock, makes that first pull in double action lighter than it normally would be. Single action pull is great. The thing feels very ergonomic in my hands. I like the all metal construction. Balance is perfect. And the anti-snag sights, really nice as well. But because of the malfunctions, 3.5 stars out of 5. But I like it. I want to really like this pistol, but I just can't because of the malfunctions. But I'd be willing to give it another shot. And if I ever see one of these at a gun show or for sale, I might pick it up. Who knows, we'll have to see. So there you go. My range report and review of the CZ75D, a police model or police version of the CZ75 Compact, chambered in 9mm. I really like this, but I would love it if it wasn't for the malfunctions. So anyway, guys, let me know if you have any questions, and do you have one of these? And what's your experience with them? And do you have any other problems running hollow points through CZ pistols? Let me know about that too. I'd be interested to see if it affects the entire line. So let me know if you have any questions. And as always, thanks for watching.